Hello, I am here for an interview for an online physique coach role today. My name is Caitlin Hill, I am 19 years old and I am currently studying sport and exercise nutrition at Leeds Beckett University. I have been interested in this field for a very long time now, sort of ever since I started going to the gym and I guess obsessing over nutrition and how it affects the body. So at 13 got into it with very much an obsessive mindset. I didn't know a lot about it, but it sort of consumed everything that I wanted to know. I'd never sort of felt this excited and like I actually really wanted to research a topic so much in my life. So it was at this point that I thought that it would be a good idea to pursue this as a career path. So for that reason, I've been looking and seeing what people who are currently doing this job role do, whether this is something that I would like. I've shadowed other coaches before, and since, in the past 6 years, I have basically just been committing my whole life to understanding how nutrition, training, supplementation and such plays such a massive role on a human's body. But equally, I've experimented with myself and I've experimented with plenty of different clients, taking them on free clients at the beginning and finally transferring over to a paid service and an online business that I have set up for myself. So for that reason, I think that I'll be very good at the role. When it comes to the skills of an online physique coach, one of the biggest skills that I have noticed from my research, sort of doing it myself and speaking to other online physique coaches, is the ability to be able to make decisions, both acute decisions on the spot and those that you sort of have to think about for a little bit longer. And the way in which I've done this is just by immersing myself within the industry and the community. I've said that I've shadowed coaches before and they have got me to make draft decisions and sort of see what the situation is. Let's say a client has checked in 1 week, weight for some reason isn't shifting, yet we know they're in a calorie deficit, for example. I would then draft back a response to the coach that was actually coaching them and tell them that in this scenario, I would look at how long they have been in this deficit for, as it may be a case of their metabolism adapting to the deficit and just needing to create a further increase in the deficit. Or if they are at the very end of a contest prep or diet and fatigue is extremely high, it may be worth doing something like a refeed with carbohydrates in order to ensure that the client can reduce some fatigue, drop some water weight if that's been held via inflammation, rest up a little bit and be able to go again. As a result of just immersing myself in this community and in real life practices, I feel like I've been able to show off that I can really produce great results, and I've included a plethora of the many transformations I've done in the evidence folder. Now I will talk about my competency. So this in this situation, it's been able to actually find the knowledge in the specific subject areas. I'm aware that this job role is rather unique, and for that reason it's not as easy to just Google something and get an answer. So in order to collate the information that is necessary for me to have the knowledge needed to, one, be able to visually look at what I'm being told by the said client, and then two, do what I spoke about previously in the skills section and actually make a decision. And the way in which I've done that is one, signing up to a university undergraduate degree, which aids in nutrition for sports performance, which is specific to the role that I want to pursue. And outside of university, I've also signed up for diplomas, courses, stuff that is specific to that of bodybuilding. Although the university degree that I'm doing is applicable in so many ways to an online physique coach, there is only so much that I can do, and sometimes some of the information may be a little bit ambiguous, and when you're dealing with real life clients, I didn't want there to be any ambiguity. So for that reason, people who have masters and PhDs, I have made sure to sign up to their webinars and podcasts and such forth. This then just allows me to provide a better service to the clients, and if they're asking me questions, I don't want to go and say, trust me, I'm your coach. I want to actually be able to give them an in-depth response as to why it is we have chosen to change a certain variable or not change a certain variable, for example. So increasing my competency allows me to provide a better service for my clients. Going on to the experience section, one of the main things that I actually wanted to talk about was the fact that in this line of work, I do understand that sometimes adherence is the key part that will stop progress from happening. In an ideal world, I know that a client would follow the nutrition and the training and the expenditure to a T. However, by having experience in this area, I now know that a lack of progress may not just be down to the coach themselves. It's the saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And so from that, I have sort of got an intuition as to when a client is potentially not adhering or they're not enjoying the plan. I think that's the main thing. If they're not enjoying the nutrition and the training, then that adherence will definitely go down. So what I've done with that is communicate more. Before a client is to sign up with me, they will fill out an inquiry form, stating foods that they don't like eating, stating any movements that they can't get on with, for example, what their lifestyle's like. A uni student has a lot more spare time than that of a working adult with 3 kids, let's say. This section is now on the values, and I think one of the biggest things that I have exhibited from this line of work is people often get very much associated to the ease of making money. And for that reason, I have set a limit to the amount of clients that I would take on per month. This job role is not the same as some, where you sign up to a job, you get a specific amount of work that you need doing, and you complete it, and that is within your salary and in your role. However, with this, it's a case of you get inquiries from people, and they then, the clients determine your workload. And I've exhibited, people who get greedy with that. They'll get lots of inquiries, and then the service will dip down, money increases. So for that reason, I understand that there needs to be a cap, but also I do understand that the result of this is that I actually enjoy what I'm doing. So for that reason, it's not going to be a chore, and I do it for free. But I do understand that to make a living, you obviously need to charge. So for that reason, my values are that I'm doing it for loving watching other people progress than for the monetary aspect. I think motivation also really is very similar to what I was talking about in regards to the values. The motivation for me to pursue this career path has been building for 6 years now. It's not something that I turned around one day and thought, yes, I want to do this. It's something that I've been thinking about, immersing myself in, and just being really obsessed with for the past 6 years. So for that reason, when it comes to a motivational perspective, I know that if I'd have got a lack of motivation at any point, it'd have happened in the past 6 years. So for that reason, I know that this is the job role that I am meant to do. Finally, when it comes to asking questions, one of the only questions and sort of queries in regards to this line of work would be, and I did touch on it, was guaranteeing workload. It's work on a needs basis, and obviously everyone works to make a living. However, if my inquiries and client roster wasn't enough to ensure that my bills and income was made to suffice, then that would be an issue. So that is one of the questions.